done triangular prisms with nets, how do we do it without a net? It is the same process as the rectangular prism. You just have to remember that now you have triangles and rectangles. Don't forget, you need two formulas for this. So let's go ahead and blow this up a little bit and get started. All right, here is a triangular prism. Let's do it with a net and then without a net. Okay, well, our triangular prism has two triangles. We have one in the front and one in the back. Remember, a triangle formula is area equals base times height, all divided by 2. We have to have that height, that right angle, so we're looking for that. So if we look at our triangles, we can see that the base is 16 and the height is right there in the middle is 15, right? So these triangles are 16 by 15 is what we need, because we need that height right in the middle of it. So then we have to look at our rectangles. We're going to have 3 of them because a triangle has 3 sides. That's our indication we're going to have 3 rectangles. So let's look at the one right here that we can see on the right-hand side here that I'm doing in red. It is 11 by 17. That one I can see pretty easy. So I know that the base is 11, the height is 17. And don't worry if your triangles and your rectangles are not drawn to scale. As long as you have the measurements, you will be fine. Now let's look for another one. Now it becomes a little more difficult to find them in some of these. Let me erase my colors so we can kind of see a little bit more here. This one's going to be a little harder to see, but we can still figure this out. We're trying to find a bottom. Well, if I drew in the bottom, it's going to look like this. All right, that's kind of my bottom there. I really can't see it, but it's there because it's sitting on something. So we can see that it is 16 by 11. So then we have one that's going to be 11 by 16. And then we need one other side. Again, here's the side. It's over here. It's kind of the same as the other side, and it's a little hard to see, but you're going to be able to tell that the bottom of that side also has to be 11, and the other side is also going to be 17. So we have another one that is 11 by 17. And again, we want to find the area of each. So if we find the area of the triangles, remember, it's base times height divided by 2. So it's 15 times 16, all divided by 2. So we're going to find out that the area of the triangles is 120. So if this triangle is 120, this triangle is 120. Now let's find the area of each of our rectangles. Well, 17 times 11 is 187. 16 times 11 is 176. And 17 times 11 again is 187. Then we want to add them all up to find the total surface area. We're going to add them all together. So if I go through here and I add up 120 plus 120 plus 187 plus 176 plus 187, I'm going to find out that the total surface area is 790 centimeters squared. All right, now if I don't have a net, the process is the same. Let's get rid of all these colors so we can see. We want to know the triangle of the front. Well, here we go. Here is the front. This is the front right here. We have a base and we have a height. We use our formula. Base times height divided by 2. So 16 times 15, because our base is 16, our height is at 15 there. It's forming that right angle. Divided by 2 is 120. The front and the back need to be the same. Okay, they're both going to have an area of 120. Then I'm looking at my rectangles, just like I did for my net, but I don't have to draw them out, but I can look at them. And if you need to, trace them, draw it out, draw the nets, whatever you need to do. Here's one side of it. It's 17 by 11. We know that that's 187. Then let's go to the bottom. The bottom's going to be down in here somewhere. All right, and no, it's not perfect, but it's okay because I can see the base and the height is 11 by 16. So again, 11 times 16 is 176. And then the last rectangle is going to be on the other side. Get rid of the color so we can kind of draw it in for us. And we're going to see that it's kind of that base goes down here and we're going over here. It doesn't really look like a rectangle when I draw it in, but it really is. It's just hard to draw a three-dimensional shape and to highlight those easily on a screen. But it's 11 by 17, so again, it's 187. If I add all of these together, I'm going to add them all up. I'm going to find out my surface area is 790 centimeters squared. Remember, it's squared because we are finding area. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not centimeters, it's meters squared. My mistake. All right, let's look at some more. Here's some triangles. Again, we want to find each part of them in order to help us find the total surface area. We're going to start with the front. We can see the front and we can see that right angle pretty easy. The front is 12 by 16. So the front is going to be 12 times 16, all divided by 2. Remember, the area formula for a triangle is base times height divided by 2. This is the triangle one. And the area for a rectangle is area equals length times width. If you need to write those down, make sure you are. So then I'm going to find out, so 12 times 16 divided by 2 is going to give me an area of 96. The front and the back are going to be the same. All right, so now I got to start working on all these rectangles. So let's look at the first rectangle here. The one that I can see the easiest is right here in the front here on the right-hand side. I can see that this is 10 by 20. So if I have a rectangle that's 10 by 20, it's 10 times 20, because that's the area formula, equals 200. Then let's go ahead and look at another rectangle. How about we take a look at the one on the bottom here? We can kind of see it a little easier here. Here it is on this bottom, and we can see that it is 12 by 10. So this one is 10 times 12, which equals 120. And then the last one up here that I have to find is in this back here. And if I put it here in this green to help you kind of see it, we can see that the one side is 16 and 10 is the base, because if it's on one side, it's on the other. So this one is 10 by 16. So 10 times 16 is 160. Again, take all of these numbers and add them together to find your total surface area would be 672. Don't forget the units. This is in centimeters squared. Let's try one more. Remember, sometimes the height is not part of our figure, but it could be off to the side or with a dotted line. We can see our height in this one is going to be 6. I'm going to go ahead and make this just a tiny bit smaller to help us see it a little better. So triangle is base times height divided by 2. So the base of this triangle is 4. So 4 times 6 divided by 2 gives me 12. I'm sorry, 4 times 6 is 24 divided by 2 is 12. If the front is 12, the back is also 12. Now let's start looking at my triangles. Here we have one triangle right here. I can see it here in the blue. It is 12 by, well, this side 7, this side 7. So this one is 12 times 7, which is going to give me 84. Let's go ahead and look at the triangle on the bottom. Here we can see it in the green here. I'm trying to make it so we can kind of see them really well. This one is 4 by 12. So 4 times 12 equals 48. And then we have one more rectangle to find, because remember, a triangle has 3 sides, so we need 3 rectangles. Here it is in the back. We can kind of see it right there in the red. We know it's 7. If one side's 12, the other side's 12. So this one is 12 by 7. So 7 times 12 equals 84. And now we add them all together to find the total surface area of 204. This one would just be unit squared because it didn't tell me what the measurement was. It's just unit square. Go ahead and give your homework a try and let us know if you have questions.